from the Weather Channel headquarters, you're watching Weather Center Live.
It's like, we'll do that if it doesn't rain, but if you're not, you know, the hit or miss storms, it's when you got something planned, it's outside, and you've planned for it. Rains.
Whatever. Okay. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Dave. Thanks for that clarification.
You're so well. I like to try to help you out with things. I'm Alex Wilson. We're going to guide you through all the weather across the country over the next hour.
This is a serious story.
Right. We want to start with some incredible damage. These are images from a popular campground in Virginia. At least 3 people were killed by what may have been a tornado, several more injured. The National Weather Service is investigating the scene at the Cherrystone Campground on the Virginia Peninsula. You can see recreation vehicles flipped by the strong winds. More than 1,300 people were actually visiting that campground as the storm came in this morning. The National Weather Service crews have been out there. They've seen hail damage, straight line wind damage, and also tornado damage. A news conference on the deadly storm is just getting underway, so let's get an update.
Spell the names of the 2 deceased, as their next of kin has been notified. The husband, who is 38 years of age, his first name is Lord, L-O-R-D. Last name is B as in boy, A-L-A, T as in Tom, B as in boy, A-T. B-A-L-A-T-B-A-T. His wife is Lolabeth Ortega. Lolabeth, one word, L-O-L-A-B-E-T-H, and Ortega, O-R-T-E-G-A. They were husband and wife. Their 13-year-old son is the one with the life-threatening injuries at the Children's Hospital in Norfolk right now. I'd like to turn it over now to Secretary Moran, and then we'll field any questions you all have. Secretary.
Thank you, Corinne, and good afternoon. On behalf of Governor McAuliffe, let me first say we want to express our condolences for those, the family members and the loved ones of those who lost their lives this morning. We also pray for a speedy and complete recovery for those who suffered injuries from this morning's storm. I've had the opportunity to tour the campgrounds and observe the devastation that the storm wreaked on this campground. Large trees split in half. We are thankful actually that there was not even more damage to people. There is certainly a great deal of property damage. So we certainly express our condolences and pray for a speedy recovery of those who were injured. Second, let me express our thanks to our first responders. And we're very proud of the Virginia Way here in the Commonwealth, and this morning that Virginia Way was on complete display. Immediate response by our local law enforcement officers, represented today by Sheriff.
You've been watching a live press conference taking place on the Delmarva Peninsula after a windstorm is responsible for damage that you saw there and 2 deaths, and apparently a 3rd person is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Those storms are gone. They're out over the Atlantic Ocean. But we've got new activity. By the way, this is where that occurred, right here in the Delmarva Peninsula. Now I see we just had, did you see this just pop up? That's a tornado warning. That's west of Richmond, Virginia. So let's get in here and see what we've got. We've been watching this storm for a while as it rumbled out of the Shenandoah Valley. Now a tornado. I believe this is a radar indicated tornado. Mike, if you can help me out with that. Okay, it's radar indicated, probably down here in the southwest quadrant of this storm. It's moving through Amelia, Chesterfield, and Powhatan counties in Virginia. This is west of Richmond. Now, as we take this, and probably right in here is where we would find a tornado. Can we get in a little tighter for some towns? I'd like to go over that. This is north of 360, US 360, as we zoom in. And the communities are so small that they're not popping up here. But this is going to get closer and closer to I-95 in the next couple of hours, and it could cause some problems. Lodore is a village right here. This is about where the tornado would be if there is one. Once again, it's a radar indicated circulation in this thunderstorm. A tornado warning is in effect for Amelia, Chesterfield, and Powhatan counties here in Virginia. North of Haw Branch, okay? Right in here is where the tornado would likely be. Lodore is the town, and it's moving toward the southeast of Lodore. If you live east of Lodore, take cover in the lowest floor of your home, okay? Basement's the best. If you don't have one, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Now, as we go out through time, now the local time is 5 minutes past 4. At 15 after 4, well, you can see when we hit the next sizable town, and that would be Chester at 4:20 as it moves to the east-southeast. Richmond is not, you're getting hit by a thunderstorm right now. That's not the severe thunderstorm. This one that may be producing a tornado headed toward Clayville, then Skin Quarter and Winterpock. Small towns to the west of Interstate 95 will be south of Richmond. Could it get close to Petersburg? It could, but that's at least another hour away. So we're following this thunderstorm in Virginia. It's moving to the east-southeast, out of the mountains, heading across 360, then 460, and headed for 95 by probably 5:15, 5:30. So you folks watching from the Petersburg area, be very heads up on this storm, which may be producing a tornado right now. So that's the latest here in Virginia, where we've already had 2 tornado deaths or wind damage deaths. The cold front is also pressing through the Carolinas and Georgia, but at this point there's no severe weather, just some wet weather on the north side as afternoon rush hour gets underway. So that's one area of threat. Right now in Atlanta, there are some major delays at the airport because thunderstorms are in the area. Then there's a second area of thunderstorms, and that's up in the northern plains. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, a look at where the thunderstorms are expected to be tonight, south of the front, south of Charlotte and Norfolk. Alex?
Thank you so much, Dave. Before we leave you, we want to give you a look at Richmond, Virginia, and you can see the raindrops on the lens, some heavy rain being reported in the area, temperatures in the upper 70s. Here we go.
I'm Mona.
I'm Beth.
And we raced around the world on a reality show.
You may know us. We were the Roller Derby Moms.
And our families are super competitive. So when we heard Walmart's clothes were better than ever, we had to put them to the test.
I love that the clothes can stand up to the kids, and this Avia line is awesome.
We're pretty tough, and these clothes are really keeping up with us.
Fit, style, performance. Discover the look of quality backed by our satisfaction guarantee. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com. Save money, live better. Walmart.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tape.
Don't just visit Miami. Visit TripAdvisor Miami. With millions of reviews, TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
So we're all set?
Yep. With Xfinity Internet, your family can use all their devices at once. Works anywhere in the house, even the garage.
Max, what's going on?
We're doing a tech startup. We're streamlining an algorithm. We're going public!
The fastest in-home Wi-Fi for your entire family. The X1 Entertainment Operating System. Only from Xfinity.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Channel original series.
This is a dangerous job.
Catching Hell, Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Jack.
No! Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
of summer is that I never know what kind of adventure awaits. The days are longer and the breeze feels a little sweeter. And thanks to Volvo, I'll pay nothing for repairs or maintenance for 5 years. Nothing. They even cover my first month's payment. So I'll be happy wherever the summer takes me. The Wonder of Summer event. The 2015 Volvo S60 sedan with complimentary first month's payment, starting at $319 a month.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Right now, get 25% off Firestone Affinity Touring Tires at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Strong storms heading out of the Shenandoah Valley and heading toward Richmond. Now, here in Richmond, as you can see, it's pouring, especially on the south side. We've got a thunderstorm in progress there. Just heavy rain. People have their headlights on. No severe weather is reported from that, but to the west of Richmond, a tornado warning is in effect. Now, this is a ways west of Richmond. Let's get a look at it here on radar. You'll see the red quadrilateral there. It's coming out of the Shenandoah Valley, and Amelia, Chesterfield, and Powhatan counties are now under a warning. Now, if there is a tornado, it would be just north of US 360. Just to the north of that, right in the center of that box. That's all sliding to the east-southeast, generally headed toward Petersburg, Virginia, on I-95, but it would be at least an hour and a half away from there. Richmond, just a thunder shower, nothing severe at this time. Alex?
Dave, we want to take it up into the northeast where it's actually turned out to be a pretty nice Thursday afternoon, but you're wondering how long will the drier weather last? Luckily for you, I've got the answer. Plenty of sunshine right now with temperatures in the upper 70s, winds around 8 miles an hour out of the east-northeast. We've seen a lot of that cloud cover move offshore still, though. Eastern parts of Long Island, out on the Cape in Massachusetts, that's where you still have some of that cloud cover. Also into parts of Virginia and West Virginia, we've got thunderstorms and the clouds. High pressure, though, will be taken over, and tomorrow, lots of sunshine headed your way for the northeast. Comfortable highs as well. 76 Binghamton, low 80s in Boston, Burlington, and Pittsburgh, mid 80s in New York, and 87 in Washington, D.C. But more storms headed for the northeast as we head into the end part of the weekend and even early next week. Sunday and Monday, the time frame that we'll be watching as that disturbance moves over towards the east. The moisture back in play, and the showers and thunderstorms will be scattered into the interior northeast on Saturday. So Buffalo, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, you'll watch for those showers and storms. Sunday, everybody in the northeast has the chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm, and Monday, more of the same. So some wet roadways possible for your back to work commute. No, that's not what you like to hear for your Monday morning forecast. New York, spotty thunderstorms Saturday, even Sunday. The storms are going to be fairly hit or miss in nature. Monday, we're going to keep that going with highs near 85. Dave.
Alex, we'd love to have some of that rain in California. This is a place that could really use the rain. Take a look at this time lapse. This is California 3 years ago, and now here it is today. Notice how back in July of 2011, there's a fair amount of green. Now there's a whole lot of brown. Now, these images are courtesy of NASA as we took a look at that storm. Now, here's a look at the drought in California. 3 years ago, the image on the left side of your screen, that shows you how much of the state was covered in drought. Almost nothing. The desert southeast, a little bit of moderate drought. But the image on the right, that's today. Look how much worse the drought has gotten in California. And this is a disturbing sign in the West. Last week, Lake Mead drops to the lowest level since the reservoir was filled upon the completion of the Hoover Dam 80 years ago. Now, the water level there has dropped more than 130 feet since a high water mark was reached in 2000. Now, let's take a look at how quickly the drought has gripped that area this year. Nevada, for example, well, Lake Mead all the way to the south here, but the western half of Nevada covered in extreme drought. Actually, 55% of the state, extreme drought, and more in an exceptional drought up here near Reno and Lake Tahoe and back toward Battle Mountain. 3 months ago, 39%. Now 55%. The whole southwest is in drought, and parts of Idaho and Oregon too. The two worst states hit hard. Nevada, and California. Let's conserve. Alex?
Hey, Dave, 2 airline crashes overseas in the past couple of days, both believed to be caused by the weather. Up next, we're going to answer your questions about the safety of airlines flying in and around storms and how the U.S. airlines hold up.
Fast on a rough road, riding high through the mountains, climbing, twisting, turning further from my home. Young, like a new moon rising, fierce through the rain and lightning, wandering out into this great unknown. And I don't want no one to cry, but tell them if I don't survive, I was born free. Born free. And I will bow to the shining seas and celebrate God's grace on thee. I was born free.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Update your home. Get 10% off all major appliances $3.99 or more at Lowe's.
At LegalZoom, you can take care of virtually all your important legal matters in just minutes. Now it's quicker and easier for you to start your business, protect your family, and launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
After winning 10 Gold Gloves, I know when I've made a great catch. That's why for over 10 years I've used Blue Emu. It's made with real emu oil. It's a non-greasy, deep penetrating formula that works itself down into my joints. And now for those hard to reach places, there's new Blue Emu Pain Relief Spray. Odorless, made with an active ingredient for pain relief. It will soothe those muscles and get down into that joint pain. Take it from me, it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu, it works for me, it'll work for you.
So we're all set?
Yep, with Xfinity Internet, your family can use all their devices at once. Works anywhere in the house, even the garage.
Max, what's going on?
We're doing a tech startup. We're streamlining an algorithm.
Stuart, check it out. This My Account thing, we can tweet directly to a Comcast expert for help. Or we can select a time for them to call us back. The future, right? This doesn't do it for you? Oh, that's what blows your mind. The advanced technology of a doorbell.
Tweet an expert and schedule a callback from any device. Introducing the Xfinity My Account app.
Al Packer Lincoln invites you to our Summer Invitation event. Enjoy Summer Invitation savings on Lincoln's best-selling models. Like a 2014 Lincoln MKZ, just $299 a month. Or a 2014 Lincoln MKS, just $379 a month. The Summer Invitation event is going on now at Al Packer Lincoln on Military Trail, home of bottom line windshield pricing. And remember,
Before you buy, Price Packer.
Call 1-800-515-3441. Online at drstumpgrinder.com.
The Coasties are back, and Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's 20 past the hour on Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. It is time for our tropical update. And for that, we're going to turn things over to our hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry.
Hey, Alex, a lot of activity today in the tropics, but the good news is none of those disturbances any threat to land. Take a look at our map today. We just have one area of low pressure after another dotting the eastern Pacific, kind of running out of room here for boxes and circles. We're also watching this area here in the Atlantic. This is the remnants of what was the second tropical depression of the hurricane season out there. We're going to have more on that in just a minute. Let's start in the eastern Pacific. All of this really loosely associated with this area of convergence, something that we call the intertropical convergence zone. That is that dashed purple line that I've drawn on here. You have winds that are coming together from different directions. When you have the winds converge, that lifts all of that warm, moist air up into the atmosphere, and that's what forms the line of storminess, this extending thousands of miles across from the eastern Pacific into the central Pacific. Now, you also have to look for areas of low pressure, areas of spin, and we have one over here. We have one over here as well. We're going to start, though, with this easternmost one, still, though, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is Invest 91E, the area that the National Hurricane Center is just watching for possible development. They're giving the chance of development here into a tropical depression or a storm pretty high, but notice that arrow moving off toward the west and moving further out to sea. So that one, no threat to land areas here in North America. Now, on our side of the continent, we're looking at just a few areas of clustering of storms off the east coast of the United States. Also down here, what was the remnants of Tropical Depression 2, now moving through the eastern and the central Caribbean. I tell you what, Dave and Alex, they could use the rainfall out there in the islands. They've been in a drought really since the beginning of June. This is what our radar looks like. Some of these showers may work their way over Puerto Rico, over the U.S. Virgin Islands, but not expecting anything like a washout today. Just a few of those isolated showers and thunderstorms today and early tomorrow. Back to you.
Thank you, Michael Lowry, our hurricane specialist. Well, it's been a tragic couple of days in aviation. Weather is believed to be the cause for 2 plane crashes, one in Asia, the other in Africa.
While U.S. airlines have an excellent safety record, many of you want to know how safe they really are. This morning on AMHQ, Sam Champion spoke with a weather and aviation expert for the answers.
So let's start with emergency landings. Who makes that decision when a plane has to make an emergency landing? Is it the airline company? Is it the tower? Is it the pilot? Who's responsible for that one?
Yeah, well, typically it would be the pilot in charge of the aircraft, obviously coordinating with the tower and potentially the operation as well.
All right, now what about diverting a flight from either a war zone or a bad weather zone? Who, and the planes in the air, who decides on that one? Is it the pilot, the tower, the company? Who makes that decision?
Yeah, again, it's, most likely being coordinated, but the pilot in charge has the ultimate responsibility. Will likely be, again, coordinating with the ATC or the operation on options. Normally, as part of a, flight plan, the airline would have contingency in there for an alternate. In case an airport was not within minimums for landing.
Is there something that makes us or should make us feel safer in the skies now than we did just a few years ago that's there in place?
Yeah, I mean, technology continues to evolve. Aircraft technology evolves. There's better onboard equipment, better communication equipment, better, newer onboard airborne radars coming on for detecting weather en route. On the ground, there's better technology for detecting hazards around the airport. So I really feel like, aviation travel is getting safer all the time.
Is it, in fact, safer to fly in the U.S. than it is once you get out of our airspace? It seems that way. I just want to know if it is.
Well, I think I don't know the statistics on that, but I think, again, everybody is completely motivated by safety. Clearly, as you work into developing countries where the infrastructure may not be as, solid as what we may have here in the U.S., there's potentially, less information available to the operation and pilot, which certainly could lead to some additional risk. But again, I want to stress that airlines do, view safety as the #1 priority.
Interesting. Well, a couple of tornado warnings still remain in effect. One in Virginia, and that's west of Richmond.
Right, we've got Amelia County, Chesterfield County, and Powhatan County until 4:30 Eastern.
Right, so another 5 minutes or so.
There
you
is
can
that
see that
tornado
on the radar.
warning. Yeah, and the heavy rain has been affecting the Richmond area. Even though you're not under that warning, it's not a good afternoon to be out there for a drive.
Coming up next, we've got your local on the 8s. Will you stay with us? Okay, then.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were there. On that day, keep feeling fascination.
Presenting the science behind Behr's most advanced exterior paint and primer ever. Behr Marquee. In competitive tests, Behr came out on top. The tough non-stick surface resists dirt buildup. The advanced UV protection makes the color last longer. Behr makes the beauty yours to keep. With Behr Marquee. Exclusively at the Home Depot. Good, better, Behr.
We fight a war against every foul pest that haunts your home. Backed by 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business, it's not exactly a fair fight. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead. Big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare supplement insurance plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, it could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call now to request your free decision guide.
I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
You'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. See why millions of people have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Don't wait. Call now.
So we're all set?
Yep, with Xfinity Internet, your family can use all their devices at once. Works anywhere in the house, even the garage.
Max, what's going on?
We're doing a tech startup. We're streamlining an algorithm. We're going public!
The fastest in-home Wi-Fi for your entire family. The X1 Entertainment Operating System. Only from Xfinity.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Are back. And Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Okay, so I'm in my camper right now, and something crazy is going on outside.
Take a look at some of the video that we are getting in today. Breaking now, we've learned that this was a deadly EF1 tornado in Virginia this morning. The video was taken from inside a camper at the Cherry Stone campground on the Chesapeake Bay. At least 2 people were killed in the storm. The National Weather Service says the tornado hit the southern side of the peninsula. You can also see hail slamming the ground. There was hail and wind damage as well. Strong winds flipped over RVs. 24 other people were injured from this one, and some incredible video from those folks that were stuck in some of the most unsafe places to be. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday for Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wilson. I want to show you a look near Richmond, Virginia, where the heavy rain has been coming down, and not far from there, we've been dealing with a tornado warning, Dave, that is set to expire.
Right, it just expired, Alex, and I'm glad to say there have been no reports of a tornado from this cell. We'll show it to you on radar here. Right now, we're just getting gully washing rains across Richmond. Not much in the way of wind, but just tremendous rain. Heads up, there could be some urban flooding here very shortly because these storms are hardly moving. Washington, D.C. is seeing drier air, so up in northern Virginia, the weather's fine, but central and southern Virginia, still warm and humid. We're in the low 80s now in Washington. Maybe a sprinkle, but I think rush hour is going to be dry here in Washington and Baltimore, too. All the activity is to our south, where the atmosphere is more moist and more unstable. And you can see this looks a whole lot different than that radar in Washington, D.C. did. This is the storm for which there was a tornado report. Right now, the circulation is not being seen on radar, but there is another little appendage on the southwest end of that. Nevertheless, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Now, tornadoes are possible even where you have a severe thunderstorm warning. So now here in Richmond is under this warning. The southwest or the south half of the Richmond metropolitan area under a severe thunderstorm warning. Chesterfield, Henrico, and Powhatan are the counties affected. And Petersburg heads up in about, 45 minutes or so as these thunderstorms continue to rumble eastward. Appears to be some circulation here to this cell, so we'll watch this one as it heads through the southwest suburbs of Richmond here right now. All right, elsewhere, further south as we head down Midlothian, you can see some hail from this one. We have had reports of small hail, too, and this is headed for Chester as well. Centralia at 5:25. So that is, almost an hour from now. The cold front extends down to the upstate of South Carolina, so heads up in Greenville and Spartanburg. Northern side of Atlanta now. Looks like these thunderstorms are pooling their resources, as Dr. Forbes would say. And we've got some thunderstorms from about the Commerce exit on I-85 back to Dunwoody and Sandy Springs. Could be some gusty winds and a very heavy rain and lightning with that just in time for rush hour, right? We need that like a Lochenkop, eh? Meanwhile, north and west of there, it looks just great. Still some delays at the airport, and there probably will be some, even though these set off the delays. There are more on the way on the northwest side of town, out toward Dobbins Air Force Base in Marietta. So there we have it, my friend. Also, a tornado warning here. Southwest Louisiana, this would be a very short-lived tornado if we have anything at all. Cameron is the parish, southwestern Louisiana till 3:45. The cold front will shut off the possibility for severe thunderstorms, and that cold front slides through the south side, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and heads toward I-95 and then offshore by midnight tonight. That'll be that. Tomorrow will be a much brighter day. We just have to be heads up for about the next 4 or 5 hours. That means you too in Charlotte and also in Columbia. Dry air here in Minneapolis. It's eroding away slowly, but that's what's also eroding away these thunderstorms. Just some rain now. The thunderstorms further south towards Sioux Falls. We've had wind gusts to 45 miles per hour being reported here, and some hail also. Worthington, Minnesota, and then right across the Iowa border. That's where the activity is right now. New thunderstorms developing in western North Dakota, parts of Montana and Wyoming. We could see a severe weather watch here too. Upper level low spinning out here over the northwest U.S., helping to set off that severe weather. So 2 areas of concern, basically the Carolinas this evening, and some of this activity that's just getting started in North Dakota here could last all night. We'll be on top of it. That's the latest. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you so much, Dave. Well, now we're going to look around some of the major cities in the Midwest: Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis. Beautiful now, but you need to be on the lookout for a return of severe weather this weekend. For more on the ingredients that is fueling the storm threat, or the ingredients that are fueling that storm threat, here's storm specialist Dr. Greg Postel.
Well, severe weather may be coming to parts of the upper Midwest on Saturday and again to the East Coast on Sunday. Let's have a look at the ingredients that are coming into play. We've got a pretty fierce dip in the jet stream with some very strong winds aloft and an upper level disturbance inside of that. These strong winds will be surging southeastward across the high plains into the upper Midwest, so those strong upper level dynamics will help lift the atmosphere. And underneath all that strong wind energy aloft, we'll have a lot of moisture in place. In fact, very high dew points are expected across this region later on Saturday, perhaps well into the 70s. And so when you add all that up, we got a shot for some severe weather across the region. And we have the initiation, the triggers will likely be tied to those fronts, the cold front and the warm front. So altogether, watch out in a fairly broad area across parts of the upper Midwest late Saturday. Then the whole system moves off to the east on Sunday, where a broad area of organized severe storms are possible across this region. But of course, what happens on Saturday with all the thunderstorms and the clouds, that will influence what happens on Sunday. So you got to stay tuned for all the latest details on the upcoming multi-day severe weather possibilities. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Postel. Let's time out some of those storms that we could see as early as tonight, places like Minneapolis. It's been dry there. No measurable rain, though, for 9 consecutive days. The July rainfall, more than 1 inch below average so far. Could see some hit or miss thunderstorms out there tonight. Put the model into motion, and you really see what I mean by hit or miss thunderstorms. Some areas will see them. Some areas won't see a thing at all. Now, as we head into the overnight early morning hours, could see a little bit more coverage into parts of Wisconsin, also through the state of Iowa. Tomorrow, southern Minnesota into northeastern parts of Iowa. There's your best chance of seeing the rain and thunderstorms. Friday night, they're going to be scattered across the area. That northwest corner, though, of Indiana could see a little better coverage. Saturday, we're watching for severe thunderstorms from Detroit to Columbus, Indianapolis, and Springfield as well. So a lot of the Midwest will be watching for the potential for some hail, some damaging winds as well. Minneapolis, tomorrow, you're going to start the day with hit or miss thunderstorms. So morning commute could be a little messy, but afternoon commute looks fine. Partly to mostly cloudy skies for the second half of your day with those highs right around the 80-degree mark. Dave, over to you.
And over to Indianapolis, the Circle City, Marion County, Indiana. Oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a winter day, doesn't it? Well, it almost is. You know, it's so dry. This is more like the kind of weather that we have, what the sky looks like. You know, the beautiful sunset, high cirrus clouds. Unbelievable. 76 in Indianapolis. Temperatures across Indiana range from 72 at Gary to 80 in Evansville. We have not hit 90 yet in Evansville. Indianapolis. Unbelievable. And there's more energy coming from Canada. Actually, this thing out here is going up and over the top of that ridge and back down. It's going to bring another batch of cool air in here. Huh? So, rather than the jet stream riding the U.S.-Canadian border, as quite often we see this time of year, sploosh. I mean, that is a plunge of cooler air. That's what's coming up next week. Alex, back to you.
You know, Dave, we are not horticulture experts around here, but it does look like there's something wrong with this woman's lawn. Find out what happened in today's top 5 videos. You can almost surf on that, right?
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
People all over the world know us, but they they don't yet know, we're a family. We're right where you need us. At the next job, next adventure, or at the next exit. Helping you explore super destinations and do everything under the sun. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. So wherever you want to be, whatever you want to do, chances are we're already there. Save up to 25% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
The General is not your grandma's car insurance company. Check us out. At The General, you can get affordable car insurance online or over the phone in just minutes, regardless of your driving record. The down payment and monthly payments are low, and you choose your due date. Get an anonymous free quote now. For a great low rate you can get online, go to The General and save some time.
Here's to the man who truly is the best of us.
Who really has the key to the city? With best-in-class payload and best-in-class cargo capacity and an unsurpassed powertrain warranty, you run the town. The all-new Ram ProMaster. Guts, glory, Ram.
Let's try on a new coat, one that covers better, lasts longer, and protects us from the elements, inside and out. Let's go to the place with the best paint. Take it home for less. Then rock and roll. Let's do the one thing that changes everything. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Right now, Behr Premium Plus paint with an easy clean finish, just $23.96 a gallon.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
These cheesy bread dogs, the cheese is baked right into the bun.
It's what's on the outside that counts?
Huh, prove that.
Count on the cheesy goodness of the new cheesy bread dogs. This is how you Sonic.
Introducing York Minis. A bite-sized new way to enjoy the full-size sensation of peppermint and rich dark chocolate. New York Minis. Get the sensation.
Mesothelioma victims and their loved ones may be entitled to a cash award from the $18 billion in asbestos trust funds, and you may not have to file a lawsuit to qualify. If diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, call the number on your screen now. Even if a loved one had mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer and has passed, your family may still be entitled to a cash award. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Many victims worked in the Navy or in shipyards, mills, carpentry, roofing, insulation, construction, or automotive industries. For over 30 years, our legal team has successfully helped thousands of victims and families. Time is limited. You may not have to file a lawsuit. If your loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, please call 1-800-993-4678 now. That's 1-800-993-4678.
Don't just visit San Francisco. Visit TripAdvisor San Francisco. With millions of reviews, TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Well, we are tracking severe weather in the state of Virginia right now. Take a look near Richmond, where the heavy rain has been coming down. These folks traveling are up against some reduced visibilities and some very wet roadways. You can see in Richmond, it's just the heavy rain, but just off to the southwest, Dave, we have a tornado warning.
And there is pretty good rotation on that. We've just been told that there's very good rotation It's up in the cloud, of course. We don't know for sure that there's a tornado on the ground, but we've got to prepare as if there is a tornado on the ground. That's a pretty good hook, a backward C, right?
Yeah, you can see where the inflow from that storm is heading into it, that little notch. And then we've got another tornado warning just off towards the south and west of that. Halifax and Pittsylvania counties under a tornado warning until 5:15.
Also in Virginia, a wave of low pressure along that front. 2 people have already been killed as a result of severe winds in Virginia today. We don't want to lose anybody else, so take cover when these warnings are issued.
Yeah, be very careful. I know this is an area where a lot of people like to hike, be out in the outdoors, so make sure you get to your safe spot.
Yes.
We know they don't call Erie a Great Lake for nothing. It stretches from Buffalo to the Detroit area and is the major source of water for that whole area.
In partnership with NBC Learn and the National Science Foundation, Julie Martin shows us there's a problem below the surface.
Of the 5 Great Lakes, Lake Erie is the shallowest and holds the least amount of water. Yet it is vital to the region's industries, economy, and public health. In 2011, toxic blue-green algae covered 1/6 of Lake Erie, with the largest toxic bloom ever recorded there, a problem visible from space.
We don't want the Great Lakes to become a cesspool of green scum. We want water that is healthy, enjoyable, and safe.
Tom Bridgman is a freshwater ecologist studying water quality in Lake Erie. Algal blooms feed on nutrients commonly found in fertilizers. More nutrients are getting into the lake, and scientists point to a combination of 2 primary causes: farming practices, such as spraying fertilizers on the surface without mixing it into the soil, and changes in rainfall patterns. Spring rains have become more intense, creating more runoff over the soil surface and washing more fertilizer into ditches, streams, and rivers that flow into the lake.
And it's only a matter of hours between when water enters a ditch to when it enters Lake Erie. It's a very quick trip from field to lake.
Bridgman says that with fewer nutrients in the water, the lake could be healthy again in a couple of years.
That's one of the hopeful things about Lake Erie, is that it rebounds very quickly.
And that's important to the millions of people who depend on the lake every day. I'm meteorologist Julie Martin, the Weather Channel.
Time for our top 5. Time to have a little fun. So let's hit it, huh? Ready?
All
1,
right.
2, 3. Hi.
Oh, look at that.
Not bad.
We'll practice.
Yeah, we'll
get it better tomorrow,
Thank
we
you.
promise. That was our first and only, and that is not our stomachs rumbling. That's thunder outside our Atlanta
thunder, right? You
studios.
might be able to hear it.
Look at this, though. Things are rumbling under the ground.
3 inches of rain. It all collected under the turf. And look what's happened. It's like mama's belly, you know, when you're a baby. It's just like, oh, that feels so good.
You just curl up and take a nice nap. Number 4. How about hail in Washington State? This was taken around 5 o'clock on the back deck of a home in Lake Diamond, Washington.
It happens. And would you know, in Barrow, Alaska right now, it's snowing, Alex?
Oh, my
Speaking
goodness.
of frozen from the sky, how about that lightning, huh? It's electric.
That's some great stuff. Boogie, oogie, oogie, oogie.
Electric. Number 2. This is awful.
This is, you know, there's no worse place to be, I think, during a reported tornado. This was apparently an EF1 that caused all this damage at a campground.
At a campground, when you're in a mobile vehicle.
Or a tent.
No protection. 2 people died. And finally, a much more serene scene. This is a water spout.
How cool is that? Almost looks
So
like
cool.
somebody just took a paintbrush in the sky and just...
These will toss around lawn furniture usually, but they're not as nearly as severe. Hey, send us your videos at weather.com/photos, would you?
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Probiotics. They're the beneficial bacteria that help promote digestive system balance. But before they even get to your gut, stomach acid can take them out. New InSync Probiotic contains 6 strains of natural probiotic, including doctor-recommended B. infantis. And InSync Probiotic is the brand with GI Guard, which helps protect these little guys from harsh stomach acids so they can do their good work. Go to tryinsync.com and save $5.
Xfinity. Stay connected to more of what you love.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Hit an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip. Now that's a leak. That is a leak. And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
This is Lady. She's a unicorn and a Pegasus. And why is she strapped to the roof of my RAV4? Well, if you have kids, then you know why. Now the real question, where's this going in the house? The RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Mona. I'm Beth. And we raced around the world on a reality show. You may know us. We were the Roller Derby Moms. And our families are super competitive. So when we heard Walmart's clothes were better than ever, we had to put them to the test. I love that the clothes can stand up to the kids, and this Avia line is awesome. We're pretty tough, and these clothes are really keeping up with us.
Fit, style, performance. Discover the look of quality backed by our satisfaction guarantee. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Would you consider a 4-star hotel that's up to 60% off? Just can't know the name.
Just no name?
This family may love their treat, but a colony of ants will use these branches on a roofline like the Autobahn.
But I know where they are. Going from here to there. And what time of year to bait them with protein? When to bait with fat. I just shut down their freeway like a jackknife 18-wheeler. To catch a pest, you've got to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
Amidst a world of brilliant turquoise, there's an exotic new place where green holes meet blue holes, where every carefree pleasure is absolutely free, where time is forgotten and love is remembered. Sandals Emerald Bay, the Bahamas' ultimate all-inclusive golf and spa resort, close to home, even closer to heaven. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Call us at 1-800-950-MESO. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Severe thunderstorms threaten Petersburg, Virginia, and the south side of Richmond. This is a tower cam. Traffic is slowed somewhat because of wet roads, but the worst is off to the northwest of Petersburg as we check in on a tornado warning in central Virginia. There you see a well-defined hook moving through that red rectangle near the bottom of the screen. It's in there where the tornado, if there is one, may be. It's showing strong rotation at last check. And as you can see, Petersburg is to the right of the screen. That's Interstate 95. To the north up there where it says the time, that's where Richmond is.
And as you correctly pointed out, some less populated spots here, but you notice as we get further towards the east, we've got 95, 295. So a lot of people heading home as we approach now the 5 o'clock hour in Eastern time.
So this is going to be in the Petersburg metropolitan area in about 15 minutes. Downtown Petersburg by 5:23 if it holds together. It looks like a tornado may be forming right there.
All right, we've got another one for Halifax County, also in Virginia. This goes until 5:15 Eastern. Now we want to change gears, take a look at what's happening in the tropics. And for that, we head over to our hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry.
Mike.
Hey, Alex, I'm going to update you on what's happening today, of course, in the tropics, but I also want to look forward to what the next few months might bring. Today, it's pretty quiet. We're just watching this disturbance that's moving through the central and the eastern Caribbean. This is what's left of Tropical Depression 2, that depression that formed a few days ago just to the east of the Lesser Antilles, now working its way across the islands, bringing some of that rainfall and some of that moisture with it. But Dave and Alex, they could use it out there to maybe make a dent in some of those rainfall deficits that have been there since the beginning of June. Otherwise, in the tropics, pretty quiet. Not really seeing any disturbances on the horizon that look like they're going to develop into anything in the next few days. But if you look at the frequency of tropical systems or over the past 100 years, when we expect them to form, June and July tend to be pretty quiet. That really accounts for only about 7% of the total energy in a hurricane season. And the reason for that is so far, a lot of that moisture has been to the south of what we call the main development region of the tropics. This is the part of the tropics where we expect storms to form. That is typical, though, for June and July. That tends to be pretty dry because of the dry air coming off the African continent, off the northern African continent from the desert, spreading across the central and the western Atlantic. You see that we do have some moisture here off the east coast of the United States, along with here in the southern Gulf of Mexico, but we've had a lot of wind shear in some of those areas. Wind shear, just the change in winds at height as you go up into the atmosphere, they literally chop off the tops of thunderstorms before they're allowed to develop. But once we get into August and September, watch as we begin this very steep climb to the peak of the hurricane season come September 10th, September 11th. That's because those conditions, they begin to change very quickly when we get into August. That moisture from the deep tropics now beginning to work its way into that main development region. Look at all this deep tropical moisture across the Gulf of Mexico. On top of that, the wind shear, as I was talking about, well, that also starts to relax. And the combination of those two, Dave and Alex, means that we expect probably a lot of activity and the uptick in activity, at least once we get into August and September. We're going to want to watch just off the coast of Africa, as Brian was saying, for some possible development come the first week of August. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Michael Lowry. Time now for our Throwback Thursday segment here on Weather Center Live.
Gee, I wonder what this could be about, Alex.
We like to throw it back.
Like look back at
we're looking back at things in the past, some more recent past, some way past.
Like the way past.
Way past. And today we're taking a look at a new tradition here on the show. Take a look.
Time for our top 5.
Yeah, it is.
Right there. Nice. Shall we?
Ready?
Yes.
That was a cool video.
All right, well, time now for our Friday top 5.
We're going to take a look at some amazing weather videos from around the world.
Time for the top 5.
Gotta wait.
That's right.
Bump the hands.
We're back, yeah.
Perfect.
Look at that.
Top 5.
It is. Let's
Hit me
do
one
it.
time. How about that?
We like high-fiving. It's
yeah, we
fun.
do like high.
They're high-fiveable videos.
Try me,
you know
try
what?
me.
Kyle and Chris are up next.
Yeah. Forecast is up next, too.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 77. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy, with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A confirmed EF1 tornado rips through a campground in Virginia. A closer look at the damage, including dozens of trees snapped and flipped over RVs. You can see right here in Campers. Plus, we are going to keep you ahead of the storms that we are watching right now. Here's a look at some wet roads in Miami. We've also been seeing some very wet roads in Virginia as well. And before you make any plans, we're going to let you know what to expect as far as the severe weather threat goes this weekend. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Warren. Heads up for you this weekend. Millions could be impacted by severe weather. Storms already turned deadly today in Virginia. The National Weather Service confirms an EF1 tornado killed a husband and a wife and left dozens hurt, including the couple's son, at a popular campground this morning. Let's take a look at some of the pictures of that damage in Northampton County in Virginia, where that tornado moved through. You can see this camper flipped over, debris around it. This scene repeated over and over again at this campsite. Here's another picture. Something destroyed. Just by looking at this, it's hard to tell what. Likely a camper. There you go. You see the wheel there, and that's possibly the toilet from the camper. And this looks like an RV flipped on its side. There were some very strong winds, both with the tornado and the straight line winds, also with the thunderstorm. And you can see the tree, how big that tree is, and see that it was just snapped right there. So right now we are keeping an eye on that threat still for more severe weather, and there is severe weather happening right now. You can see in the Midwest, but also here in Virginia and North Carolina. That's where we have the severe weather that's happening right now. We are watching these storms here throughout portions of the Mid-Atlantic, and we're still dealing with the threat for some storms, including some tornado warnings right now. And we'll take a closer look at these tornado warnings. And you can see here in Virginia, there are 2 tornado warnings as we zoom in and take a closer look. If we can go to Video Source Max 1, that'll show it right here. Okay, for Chesterfield County, bearing down on Petersburg, not in the warning yet. But this red outlined area is showing that it is very close and near Chester as well. And you can see this is going to be the most dangerous portion of the storm. This is one of the tornado warnings we're watching, and this timing it out for you. The location is expecting by 5:19 in Petersburg, so heads up there. Also Dunlop there at 5:22, and then it's going to continue from there. We'll let you know if that does get extended. The tornado warning gets extended. This one until 5:15 for Halifax County. And the bigger picture here in this area, we're watching some of these storms right now around Charlotte. You may have had the rain south of town, but even farther to the south, this yellow outlined area, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that we're keeping an eye on. Potentially damaging winds associated with this heavy rain, and also the possibility, because it's a thunderstorm, you're going to see some lightning as well. You want to be indoors because of that threat for lightning and damaging winds. Some storms right now moving through the Atlanta area and North Georgia. And then this is a look at some of the storm reports. It's been an active day. It started out active with that EF1 tornado here, and you can see southern end of the Delmarva Peninsula, thunderstorm damage and overturned RVs, and we did see that, and campers associated with that storm that went through earlier today. This is a look now at the future radar and satellite, where the storms are going. Overnight, these storms should be long gone. Daybreak tomorrow, it's going to be just some of those hit and miss showers and storms, possibly in parts of South Carolina. Heads up, you could have some storms. So for the rest of today, this evening, looking at the threat of severe weather throughout parts of South Carolina and into North Carolina as well. So we are looking at this threat continuing here as we see severe thunderstorm watch also throughout parts of the northern plains. And you can see here until 9 o'clock. And right now, seeing some showers as well in Florida. But we want to go in depth right now on what we were seeing earlier with those storms with Kyla Grogan here. We're talking about this morning's powerful, deadly storm in Virginia and a look from the air.
Right, and I think when we look at these devastating pictures, a couple things to keep in mind is this happened relatively early in the morning. About 8:20 a.m. is when this storm was warned upon. And you think about that, we've got summer vacation, you've got a campground where people have no real structure to go to for safety. So you've got families on vacation out in the open, and then you get this storm and you get these incredibly destructive pictures that we're looking at right now.
And again, dozens of people were taken to the hospital, and you can see why. If they were in this camper here, I mean, it's upside down. And you can imagine the kind of damage and the injuries that would happen with this.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this, Chris. So imagine you've got your cell phone and you're able to get a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning if it comes up. It's still, you have to react so quickly. And when you're in the outdoors, which many people are in the summertime, where are you going to go that's going to provide you the most safety, and how are you going to get there quickly? That is part of the problem of why we've seen such destruction here.
Very few options, in particular because it happened early on. But even if it happened in the afternoon, evening, you still don't have those options. I mean, early you're not really expecting it because these kind of storms usually happen in the late afternoon, in the evening hours. So you can imagine just how scary that would have been to have been in one of these campers.
Yeah, and in fact, I mean, we talk about that. The morning hours certainly not the most common time that you're going to get this kind of weather, but it does happen. And it did happen this morning. So that is why we're seeing all of this. And of course, you're looking at campers. They're not made to be sturdy structures. They're made to be more temporary. They're not
mobile.
And mobile, exactly. And so they are just not cut out for this type of wind damage when it comes in. It's you can't expect that there's going to be anything less than that when you're dealing with tornadic winds.
And you know, it's likely not easy to get to safety here or a sturdy building because this is a campground that at the time had more than 1,300 people there.
Think about that.
That's a large campground.
Yeah, incredibly large campground. And again, the time of year, the summertime, that's exactly when it's going to be filled. And this also is an RV park. So you have people that maybe are coming here for a month or for the whole summer where they set up shop.
All right, we see these pictures here coming in from the air. We've also been getting some other pictures and video into the Weather Channel that help us tell the story and give us some perspective.
Absolutely. And coming up next, we are going to be talking to some people from the National Weather Service to get more perspective about what happened.
You want to save money on car insurance? No problem. You want to save money on RV insurance? No problem. You want to save money on motorcycle insurance? No problem. You want to find a place to park all these things? Forget about it. This is New York.
Hey, little guy, wake up.
Oh, calm off it, Mike.
Geico. Saving people money on more than just car insurance.
It's Mike Holmes.
I see you care about cleaner air.
Just be cool. You like my giant Filtrete filter?
Well, you can see why you need the right filter to capture bacteria, pollen, viruses, even pet dander.
My Healthy Living filter captures small particles 4 times better than ordinary plated filters.
It's got to be a Filtrete filter, especially with this little one breathing that air all day.
She likes you.
Oh, you are cute.
Do you babysit?
I do, actually. It's part-time. Make it right with Filtrete filters. Filtrete, a better filter means better air.
At every Ford dealership, you'll find the works. It's a complete checkup of the services your vehicle needs. So prepare your car for any road trip by taking it to an expert Ford technician. Because no matter your destination, good maintenance helps you save at the pump.
Get our multi-point inspection with a synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation, brake inspection, and more for $29.95 or less.
Get a complete vehicle checkup only at your Ford dealer.
So we're all set?
Yep, with Xfinity Internet, your family can use all their devices at once. Works anywhere in the house, even the garage.
Max, what's going on?
We're doing a tech startup. We're streamlining an algorithm. We're going public!
The fastest in-home Wi-Fi for your entire family. The X1 Entertainment Operating System. Only from Xfinity.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 77. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 87. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane. Hurricane 360, premiering August 18th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
I've used Blue Emu for over 10 years now. It's made with real emu oil. It's a non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula that works itself down into my joints. And for all those hard-to-reach aches and pains, now there's Blue Emu Pain Relief Spray. Take it from me, it works fast and you won't stink.
Right behind you.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue painter stamp.
Okay, so I'm in my camper right now, and something crazy is going on outside. I'm so scared. You can't even see it outside. It's hailing, and my awning on my camper just came off. Look at that tree over there. And there's a tree down. Look at the tree, it fell on that guy's camper. Oh my God. Look.
Clearly a terrifying time for those. The National Weather Service has confirmed that it was an EF1 tornado that hit the campground near Chariton, Virginia.
Yeah, very scary situation there. And you can see even after what happened, they were living through it, and they were knowing at the time that it was scary, and they were rightfully so scared. And joining us now on the phone, Bill Samler from the National Weather Service in Wakefield, Virginia, the office that did issue that tornado warning ahead of the storms. And Bill, thank you very much for joining us. Can you first just kind of walk us through how things played out this morning?
Yeah, Chris, thank you for having me. The damage is actually quite complex. There's the tornado, which came across the north side of the campground and traveled, by my estimate, if you include some of the offshore track, was about 8 miles. And then there was a fair amount of straight-line wind damage south of the tornado track. So there were a number of trees down, and part of that was in the campground. And then on eastward across Sheridan, parts of Cape Charles, and then over toward Oyster. And then you had a really significant hail swath. Some of the hail was golf ball to baseball size hail, and did quite a bit of damage to trees and crops. I got pictures of crops that are just literally stripped.
And Bill, how hard is it to warn on something like this when you're dealing with a storm that was rather localized as far as the damage that was done? How tough is it for the National Weather Service to get a lead on a storm that can do damage like this?
Well, on a situation where you're dealing with a single storm, it's actually a little bit easier than when you have multiple storms. The difficulty today, I think, is that we really weren't thinking tornado prior to the event. And fortunately, our forecasters caught on to the tornado potential with that storm while it was out over the Chesapeake Bay and issued the warning in advance.
And Bill, were you a part of the survey team?
Yes, I did the survey this afternoon.
Okay, so we talk more about what you did see out there and what made you rate it an EF1?
Well, the primary reason I rated it EF1 was the tree damage. Anytime you have campers that are really not well secured and are easily rolled and significantly damaged, it kind of ratchets down the intensity of the wind that's capable of doing that. But when you had 75 to 100-year-old loblolly pine trees that were snapped or sheared off or uprooted, that tells you that we're talking about winds that's somewhere in the 80 to 100-mile-an-hour range.
Yeah, pretty terrifying if you're in a tent when that happens. Well, how unusual would you say the time of day was for a storm like this for a tornado?
Oh, this was really unusual. Not only to have a tornado occur at this time of the day in that part of our area of responsibility, but also to have a storm that's going to produce golf ball to baseball size hail at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't happen every day.
All right, Bill Samuel, we're running out of time. We really certainly appreciate you taking the time to speak with us and give us that perspective of being on the scene and actually seeing the damage after and then rating it an EF1 tornado.
Very important work that they do that so that we are able to learn from all of these experiences. We're going to have a tropical update coming up for you next.
Brought to you by Terminex, fighting a war against pests for over 85 years.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminex Nation. The Terminex Ultimate Protection Guarantee. 100% satisfaction or your money back. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminex.
There is an unmistakable quality our pets bring out in us. An energy that makes us feel more human, more complete. At Petco, we think our pets should feel just as complete. It's what inspired our complete care philosophy that all begins with proper nutrition. Like Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs, offering outstanding nutrition that dogs love. It helps bring out the best in our greatest companions. Petco, the power of together.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that taking pictures of your belongings helps when you have a claim? Or that Farmers offers a policy that'll replace your car with a new one if it's totaled within the first 2 model years? And that parking near a street lamp deters thieves. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call 1-800-FARMERS and see how much you could save.
This time of year, you just need some fertilizer with weed control and a spreader to distribute it evenly. It's not rocket horticulture.
Oh, thank you. It's not rocket grilling either, right, guys?
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Oh, no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that. I wanted a car that could handle anything.
I fixed it!
That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
I'm taking a beating here down to the ground as we're just dealing with these sheets of rain and winds that are howling 50, 60 miles per hour.
Sonoma, California, here you come. Yes, you could be on your way to beautiful Sonoma. Visit Isle Casino Pompano Park for our $20,000 Sonoma Saturday Sweepstakes. Saturday, July 26th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 5 winners get $250 in band play. At 10 p.m., 1 winner will be on their way to Sonoma with $15,000 in cash. Receive 1 free entry every day and earn more with play. Only at Isle Casino Pompano Park.
My husband worked at a power plant where the asbestos fell like snow.
My dad got mesothelioma from asbestos.
Oh, the diagnosis was devastating.
We chose Cooney and Conway because they're highly experienced in this area.
They were more than lawyers. They were human beings.
There was no money up front.
It showed my sons that there is justice in the world.
Call 1-800-322-5573. Cooney and Conway. Justice with a passion.
To get a free brochure. 1-800-382-1905.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 77. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 87. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And welcome back to you here at the Weather Channel. We are launching a new forecast this week. It's a 2-week outlook for the tropics, anchored by our senior hurricane specialist, Brian Norcross.
Meteorology and technology are coming together now that we can look a little further into the future. So let's take a look at the next 2 weeks in the tropics. And we start here looking around the equator. That's where we get disturbances in the atmosphere that can either diminish or enhance tropical development. And there are two main ones we look at. The first one is called the MJO. And the MJO, Madden-Julian Oscillation is the technical name, rotates around the Earth. And when it comes by, there's a better chance of development. And then there's another one called a Kelvin wave. It also rotates around the Earth. It just goes faster. And when those two line up, you have the best chance of development. But just one of them, like the MJO, can actually increase the chance of a disturbance becoming stronger as it moves through the tropics. So let's take a look at where we stand right now and on into next week. We're looking in the eastern Pacific. There's Mexico here. So this part of the Pacific Ocean is right now very active, and that's expected to continue based on the MJO factor on into next week. But as we move to the following week into early August, that MJO moves over to the Atlantic, and we'd say, okay, it's August. Of course, we're going to look into the Atlantic for the possibility of enhanced development. But it's not that simple because the upper level winds come into play as well. And they're kind of unfavorable here in the far eastern Atlantic. That's the forecast right now. That kind of cancels out the plus from the MJO and the negative here from the upper level winds. So we're left with a little window in here where perhaps we'll watch for some development. So we'll call it a possible development area there just to the east of the islands. So for next week, an active eastern Pacific is expected to continue. The following week into early August, slightly favorable tropical Atlantic. And right now, it looks like mid-August becomes more unfavorable again. That's it for now. Back to you.
And right now, let's go to hurricane specialist Michael Lowry for a look at what he is seeing right now in the tropics. The Tropical Update. Michael.
Hey, Chris, I'm seeing a lot of activity in the Pacific Ocean. I tell you, if you put enough disturbances in one area, you're bound to get something, at least tropically form. This is what we're looking at right now in the tropics. You can see a string of these disturbances across the central and into the eastern Pacific, and also watching the remnants of what was once the tropical depression 2, the second tropical depression in the Atlantic. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's start first, Chris, in the eastern Pacific. These winds coming together along this dashed purple line. This is something that we call the intertropical convergence zone. Convergence, the key word here. Winds that are converging, rising, lifting that air up into the atmosphere, and that is what forms the storminess along this line here. Also have to look for areas of low pressure or areas of spin. Seeing a few of those. We have one here and we have one over here. That area of low pressure over the central eastern Pacific, that right here, that's the one that the Hurricane Center is giving the highest chance of developing. This is Invest 91E, just an area of low pressure that the Hurricane Center has been watching now for a few days. They're still giving it an 80% chance of becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Notice the arrow here, though, pulling off toward the west and further out to sea, so not expecting any land impacts with any of these disturbances. All right, let's take you to the Atlantic right now. It's pretty quiet today across the Atlantic. We're watching this area of storminess off the east coast of the United States. This is associated with a broad area of low pressure. None of these storms very well organized. And then down here, clustering of storms moving through the central and the eastern Caribbean. This is what's left of Tropical Depression 2 that formed a few days ago to the east of the Lesser Antilles. And that storminess, though not expected to redevelop, there's a lot of dry air to the north of it, and that should prevent anything. Also the winds, the upper level winds, just not favorable for any development across the Caribbean. This is our radar out of the islands. I tell you what, we could use the rain, Chris. It's been awfully dry. Rainfall about 30% of what it normally is from June through July. Some of these showers moving in through Guadeloupe, Dominica, up into Antigua, Barbuda, and then the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. It's going to be a rainy day across the islands, but that should pull out and dry air working back in over the weekend across the islands. Back to you.
All right, Hurricane Specialist Michael Lowry, thank you very much. Within the past 2 minutes, there's a new tornado warning to tell you about. This is the most closely threatened, and being threatened right now is Petersburg. Here, this is a look from the National Weather Service forecast office in Wakefield, Virginia. Tornado warning until 5:45. The overall storm itself is moving east at 25 miles an hour, so areas around Highway 301 and eventually 95, be on alert and take cover.
At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, discover the gold standard of luxury hybrids with the most complete hybrid line of any luxury automaker, including the fuel-efficient CT and ES hybrids. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Searching with devotion for a snack that isn't lame, but this takes my breath away.
This family may love their tree, but a colony of ants will use these branches on a roofline like the Autobahn.
But I know where they are. Going from here to there. And what time of year to bait them with protein, when to bait with fat. I just shut down their freeway like a jackknife 18-wheeler. To catch a pest, you've got to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
In my opinion, there are basically two kinds of people in the world. Those who are happy with their car insurance and those who are not. I was one of the nots. So I went online and got an anonymous quote from the General. I got the car insurance I needed, lowered my monthly payments, and picked my payment due date. Now, I'm one of the happies.
Get an anonymous free quote for affordable car insurance with a 97% customer satisfaction rating. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson Digital Motor? Before it gave the DC59 Motorhead powerful suction and perfect balance in your hand for cleaning those difficult-to-reach places? And before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush bar power by 75%? DC59 Motorhead outcleans the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Get ready to crack, dunk, dip. Celebrate your love of crab with this year's largest variety, because it's Crab Fest at Red Lobster. Dig into a succulent selection of crab entrees, like new Crab Lovers Trio, with sweet snow crab legs, split king crab, and jumbo lump crab over savory shrimp. Crab 3 ways, all on one plate. Or try new jumbo lump crab over wood-grilled salmon. Experience Crab Fest at Red Lobster today, only for a limited time. Come in and see food differently.
32 players, 8 countries, 1 crown. The world's best golfers come to America to battle for global supremacy. The inaugural International Crown continues tomorrow, 11 Eastern on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 77. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 87. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a Hurricane. Hurricane 360, premiering August 18th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Reports of 2 people dead and several injured in Virginia after a round of severe weather moved through this morning. A confirmed EF1 tornado causing damage, also straight line winds in a campground in Sheridan on the eastern shore. The Virginia Department of Emergency Management is taking a look at the neighborhoods that were damaged as well. Thank you for staying with us here. I'm Chris Warren. It was a very scary situation and a dangerous situation for so many people, likely getting caught off guard this morning. And now we are back to break down kind of what happened with a look at the video, some of the video and the pictures that have been coming to the Weather Channel. Then there's this right here.
Yeah, this is really interesting. It is 3D radar, which really shows you how high the storm